Hello, Internet World. Johnny R here. Welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Last we left off, we got back to Drezen. Everything went to heck. Wendewug betrayed us. Great. All right. So now we have Delamere with us. So we have to retake our castle. We have a couple of troops here, so let's move on. You're up. Yeah, she doesn't really talk. She just groans angrily.
I know what to do.
Visibility.
No air orama.
Oh. This camera is wigging out like crazy. I'll only use that in emergency. 220 damage. Is that just straight damage? Oh no, I'm supposed to roll. But oof. I was supposed to roll, right? Oh, if it fails, it takes 10 damage. It doesn't. Oof, ouch. I don't roll, it just takes it. This is where we beat the crap out of Minago. Oh, there's a storyteller. Oh. Long months have passed, Commander. Even while you're away on another plane, I can hear your brave heart beating. That sound never stopped for a second. Do you know where the Queen went? It wasn't easy. I see the Queen's future and her past as if looking through shattered glass. Multiple visions come one after another, distorting the picture. The Queen is in mortal danger, at the crossroads of her fate, and every step may prove fatal. But I did not give up, and fortune smiled upon me. I touched her goblet and learned where she was leading her army. Her Majesty decided to march for ease. A bold move, one worthy of a queen who is not accustomed to hiding. This is an utterly anti-scientific method of acquiring information. And that is what makes it so interesting. I'll have to conduct a series of experiments involving you to establish how you react to various objects, to identify patterns in the amount of information that you receive from them. You have already said that in those exact words. You've even conducted your experiments. You handed me some shards to hold. Once you brought a huge club, and another time you gave me a live hedgehog. And then you said that the experiment was a failure and immediately forgot all about it. Really? Well, if I decide to forget all about it, that must mean I didn't learn anything of interest. I won't remember this time either. So what were we talking about? We must leave this place. It's time for the final battle of Drezen. Yes, your arrival has changed everything. After we lost Drezen, it felt as if the light of hope has left us forever. You are like the sword of valor. You are our banner of our victory. There's one more thing. In the shattered fragments that form our fate, I can sense your presence, and I am convinced that the Queen can sense it too. No one can say what your next encounter will lead to, but there is one thing I know for certain. Queen Galfrey's fate and yours are tightly intertwined. Oh. Oh. Oh no, there are too many of them. Not really. I mean, my troop's right there. It's useless, we're done for. Don't fall back, hold the line. Arn Gofta. The huge oily Nalfishni is waiting for you with his arms full. Here comes the commander, kids. So, Commander, do you like what you see? You've just arrived in time to hear your friends screaming for help. They trusted you, and look what's happened to them. Do you really think you can rescue them? Who do you think you are? Only I have the power of life and death over these soldiers. How dare you try to steal what is mine? That's my character right there. Such bold words, so much ambition. I might even be a little bit scared. And this is a great heroine everyone is so afraid of. Come on, show me what you've got. You're just a jumped up moral insect. You are nobody. Oh no. I am a lady of death. Power rushes through your body, almost ripping it apart. The wound in your chest bursts open in a spray of bloody droplets. The might bestowed upon you by the abyss in a reel of Rulership erupts into the world. You pay for it in purest agony. This city is steeped in death. The people are now dying on its streets, who are a drop in the ocean for those who have perished here. Thousands of warriors gave their lives to protect it. Thousands more fell trying to capture it. Drezen stands atop bones, and you hear the soft groans of the dead rising up from underground. You answer them. You summon the fallen and rally them for a new fight. You promise that their cold, decay hands will have another chance to squeeze the life out of their hateful foes. That their ghostly hearts will be once again filled with battle rage. You don't care who answers your call, a brave crusader or a frenzied cultist. Death is a great equalizer. It has erased their faces and given you power over their souls. Oh. Rise from your graves. Oh. 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 We just fast forwarded the battle. Yikes. It was a slaughter. Oh. Face 2 great entities and make your choice. Oh, am I dead now? An incredible silence suddenly descends over the city. It is broken in by the solemn sound of fanfares that seem to have come from far away, everywhere, and nowhere all at once. All eyes are turned to the huge stained glass window of the city's main cathedral. It begins to glow with a soft light, and in the next breath, a lone figure steps out onto the glass, onto the cobblestones of Drezen.
Knight Commander, at last we meet.
There is no mistaking her, Iomade, the goddess who have deigned to descend to the world of mortals. Your companions shield their faces, unable to withstand her radiance. The surviving demons quiver, the townfolk fall to their knees, but the deities are eyes on you and you alone. Why have you come here? Know this. I do not recognize your authority, and I will not bow down before any deity.
On any other occasion, I would punish you for such disrespect. But that is not why I have come here today. I suppose you are asking yourself why I am here. Gods must not interfere directly in the affairs of mortals. But what is happening here, in the World Wound, is no longer the concern of mortals alone. And this is proof. This fortress has witnessed so many horrors and miracles. It makes me wonder how it still stands. You gain more and more frightening abilities. Death is your loyal servant, and darkness your constant companion. The demons are defeated, but what I see is not a victory, but the aftermath of an atrocious crime. Drezen has become a city of the dead, and the heroes who swore an oath to me have fallen, and their remains have been desecrated. But I did not come here to reproach you, or to bewail the fate of the unfortunate defenders of Drezen. I wish to stop the forces of evil and defend Golarion, both from Daskari's violent rage and from Nocticula's insidiousness. But that is not my only goal. I have come here to restore justice, for justice is the birthright of all. That's why I hail you as a heroine who has triumphed over the demons many times. At the same time, I grieve for you, as for a soul that has succumbed to the influence of the Abyss and been poisoned by its evil.
Such heartwarming concern for me. Now let's be honest. What is your real reason for coming here?
My reasons are as I have told you. I am no demon. I do not lie and cheat. Of that sin I am most certainly innocent. In that moment, when my poor herald was being torn apart by monsters, he found the strength to send me a message about what he had learned in the Abyss. You were in Elutionera, where you spoke with the Lady in Shadow and the Architect of the World Wound. They confessed what they had done to you, but they did not reveal the whole truth. Both you and this unfortunate world will have to pay dearly for the power that they so generously bestowed upon you. But all is not yet lost. That is why I have come.
The walls of Drezen shake again, and with a ringing laugh, a black shadow appears before the shining goddess, Nocticula in the flesh. Staying beside her is a Rilu Verlash, who stares at the goddess with ice-cold rage in her eyes.
Who here has been taking my name in vain? Ah, it's you, the Inheritor. What's this? Our worst fears have come to pass. The gods are flocking to Galarian. This merry little tinderbox could ignite at any moment, reducing the material plane to dust.
I did not come here to fight.
Oh, really? I didn't realize you were good for anything else. Forgive me, that was unfair of me. Judging by your successes over the last 100 years, fighting is not your forte. After all, the wound is still there, as far as I know. So why are you here? If you have come to meddle in my affairs, don't expect me simply to stand aside.
I have nothing to discuss with either of you.
You are wrong. I came to tell you something no one else would. If the Queen of the Succubi wishes to be present for this conversation, so much the better. Do you hear me, Nocticula? You and your servant are under no obligation to leave. I have come here to shed the light of truth. Let us see if you both can withstand its merciless radiance. I cannot change the flow of mortal history by force. After all, the World Wound is their doing, although committed at the behest of the Abyss. But sometimes force is unnecessary, and truthful words are all it takes.
The goddess who was mortal not so long ago is eager to judge us for our sins now. My sin, to be precise. What lies behind your eagerness, proud Iomade? Righteous wrath, or perhaps fear? Watch out. A simple mortal woman has learned how to grant powers to others. Powers which are beyond the wildest dreams of many Imperial lords. This must be stopped, forbidden, taken away immediately. After all, what need will we have for all these arrogant gods once we become their equals?
Silence. It is impolite to interrupt your elders. But you know, Inheritor, she does have a point. What are you going to do now? Break my weapon, which has made so many victories possible, and only because she received that weapon from my profane hands, and the entire affair must therefore be profane also? What real reasons do you have, save those born of your envy, your capriciousness, and your suspicions?
My reasons are quite real, as you well know. That is why you appeared here in such haste, is it not? You have woven a delicate lace of half-truths, Nocticula. From you and your servant, the Knight Commander has learned that she is bound to the World Wound, that she is slowly dying because of its influence, and that she is yet capable of closing it. But you withheld a crucial piece of information. You never told her that closing the wound won't save her from death. For this lock will destroy the key to which it is bound. the one who closes the world wound, will die along with it.
That is true. I tried to tell you back in Illusionera, but I was not allowed to. It is an unavoidable consequence of this process. To stitch two planes together as I have stitched Galarian and the Abyss, the soul of a mortal must be woven with the essence of the Abyss. To undo this seam, the original soul, the key, must be ripped apart. No one could survive such a process.
In other words, I'll die if I don't close the wound, and I'll die if I do close it.
It is true. Now do you see the perils of accepting a demonic gift? No matter how much power the Abyss gives you, that power will always be tainted by lies and misfortune. This is the justice I promised you. The right to know the whole truth, and not to be a plaything in the hands of abyssal spawn.
Well, now I'm finally starting to understand the rules of this game.
Yes. The power that Nahindrian crystals grant you will bring about nothing but your own demise. The branches of the Tree of Sin are vast and verdant, but its only fruit is death. You will not be able to save yourself unless you reject everything that has been foisted upon you. Now you know everything.
No, we're not quite finished with the revelations yet. Few secrets remain to be revealed, but they will be worth the wait. Does this look familiar? Do you remember the similar wound above your own heart? I have given you enough hints. Come on, ask me the question I have been waiting for.
I received my wound because you, Arilu, planted the essence of the Abyss in my soul, and you expanded the world wound. My question is, why do you have a similar wound? Could it be because you used your own soul as a key when you first opened the world wound?
That's right. And this means that the world wound actually has two keys.
Good question. Just imagine. I have wasted so much time chasing the key to the world wound, and the key was right under my nose this whole time. Arilu, my love, come over here. Wait, I said wait! That little bitch. I knew she would betray me sooner or later, but I never expected such an idiotic stunt. But everything seems to be falling into place quite nicely. You see, you don't have to die after all. Arilu opened the world wound, and Arilu will be the one who closes it, whether she likes it or not. Although, someone will need to catch her first, and this will require certain powers.
Yes, Arilu Vorlesh will pay for her crimes with her life. Her flight confirms that our suppositions were correct. But now we know that the world wound can be sealed with her blood. You have no reasons to remain indebted to the Abyss and indulge the Queen of the Succubi. Reject her gift, and secure your victory while being the person you were before Arilu Vorlesh corrupted you. Win as a mortal, and become a legend among mortals.
She's talking rubbish. True, we gave you the power, but it was you who chose how to wield it. It belongs to you, and it will remain yours, so you can do whatever you want with it. But first, you must use it to close the world wound. You aren't going to catch this world's most powerful witch, and a half-demon one at that, with your bare hands, are you?
I've made my decision.
I am waiting for your answer. I hope you will choose wisely.
Quite right. Make your choice, and make it the right one.
And I believe this is the time where I become a lich. Alright, here I am as a full lich now. Awesome. The bones of the dead tremble in their graves. Skulls whisper my name. Don't ask me to become mortal again, for I have stepped beyond the limits of death.
Your pride will destroy you, and perhaps all of Golarion with you. But I shall not intervene now, so as to avoid causing even more suffering to this world. Farewell.
Efficiency and determination. That's a decent combination. It's too bad that you had to agree with the demon, but this small concession will yield plentiful fruit.
Heaven be my witness. I've followed you for a long time, and I sincerely believed that even though you made some morally questionable choices, you could save the world from the abyss. Well, maybe you will save everyone after all, but I won't be a part of it. Because I can't tell what's worse for this poor land, being invaded by demons or being ruled by a necromancer tyrant.
I know, Sela. I will not say I wasn't disingenuous with our friendship with the marriage thing and everything.
It would have been so foolish for you to reject your powers. So many victories, so many achievements lie ahead for you. Well, go now. Capture Arilu, and prove which of you is making the best use of her invention. I'll be watching you.
Help Hylar in the dungeons? What was that? Huh. Oh. There we are. Everything is back to normal.
I tied.
Well, that's it, Commander. We're all dead. We soon will be. This ain't our crusade anymore. It's just yours. It's good that Erebeth went with the Queen. She doesn't even know what your dad did to the folks that survived the attack. If fate brings the two of us together again, I'll tell her that they were as good as dead anyways, even before you came. I did what was necessary. You understand that, don't you, Anevia? Like me understanding makes any difference? Don't act like you care what I think. All you need are silent puppets, and no doubt I'll be one of them soon. But just wait for me to die in battle first. Bring me back into the ranks and send me out again. Keep on fighting, this time without any doubts to hold me back. We must act before the enemy destroys all that I achieve. Yeah, you're a master of resurrecting things from wreck and ruin. So where do we start? Plundering a couple graveyards? Killing an innocent? I'm sick of sanctimony. Just tell me what you want and I'll do it. Huh. As you heard, I have to catch Arilu. Any idea where I should look for her? Not especially. She's been roaming the abyss all this time. Now the avenue's closed to her. Nocticula and some other demon lords are slavering for a piece of her. I think she's around here, in the wound. Some nasty little piece of or maybe she went as far as Threshold. The orders have not issued any official edicts, but many chapters and high-ranking knights now have been recalled from their assignments and barricaded themselves in one of our outposts. The one you know, in fact. I suggest you go there and resolve the issue between the orders and the Crusaders. This is a matter of importance. Very well. I shall go there as soon as possible. Excellent. That is all I had to report, so return to my duties and you may attend to your other affairs. Alright, here we go. What is that? Increased speed? Oh. Excellent.
According to plan.
So, hey folks, what's going on here? Where's the leader? Oh, yeah. Oh, they have haste already. Neat. The Hell Knight outpost welcomes you with sharp and inhospitable silence. Tall figures in black, imposing armor tower over you. There are no threats or greetings, nothing at all. Virgil takes his place in a formation near the Paralictor's Renth, Tai, and Deothan, but slightly ahead of them. There is a barely noticeable shift in his posture and demeanor. It's almost like he is getting ready to perform a wearisome and unpleasant task. You all know why we are gathered here. Today, the Order's emissaries will hear the results of my investigation into the actuals of the individual known as Commander of the Fifth Crusade, as well as decide the fate of said individual. Virgil, explain yourself. I think it's obvious. The Orders need to know whether or not you can be trusted. I will coordinate the tribunal as someone who knows facts better than the rest. And what we heard is sufficient enough to conclude that the accusations against the commander are unsubstantiated. We have no reason to suspect our ally of treason or associating with the Arela Borlesh. From now on, the Orders are prepared to provide all possible evidence to the Fifth Crusade. I disagree and officially dispute this decision. Do you intend on maintaining your cooperation with the individual known as the Commander of Fifth Crusade even after everything you've heard? Unbelievable. This stupid and perfidious decision puts you on the same page with the demonic lackey we've been discussing. Paralictor Drezen has been absolutely correct. Nobody has better knowledge or in-depth experience in this matter than him. Drezen, that is enough. We're not going to argue like tankerous old men. This decision is final, and you know that you have no means to dispute it. This is correct, but I do not. I have a different way of correcting your stupid, childish mistake. I hereby challenge you to a duel, Commander. This is irresponsible of you, Drezen, but lawful. I cannot interfere, though I very much want to. The Orders refuse to support you, and you are making a fool of yourself to soothe your wounded pride. Such behavior is not befitting of a Paralictor. As you wish. Spread out. Give some space for the duel. Regil, are you sure about this? I declare the start of the duel. May justice be done.
Enemy approaching!
Okay. Do you wish to continue, Regil? Do you not remember what happened to Wendawak? I will ask you again. Enough of this farce and petty squabbling. The verdict has been passed and is not subject to appeal. The Hell Knight Orders have no complaints against the Fifth Crusade or its commander. Indeed, we are now confident we can now completely trust you, Commander. From this moment, not only will the Hell Knights continue fighting the Whirlwind as allies to the Crusaders, we shall also put our elite squads under your command. The Whirlwind must be closed, and we will assist you to the best of our ability. I hope there will be no further misunderstandings between us. There won't be, Commander. The purpose of this council was to eliminate them.
I believe I owe you an explanation, Knight Commander.
I'm listening.
First, I'd like to paint you a picture of the situation I found myself in shortly before we met. I was one of the first to receive the information about an individual, supposedly chosen by the gods, who appeared in Canobris. This message was followed by the news that the Queen of Mendev had appointed this person as the commander of the new crusade. The Orders reacted in every conceivable way. I imagine that you, and anything even remotely related to you, was being discussed in every corner of every Hell Knight citadel. I did not have to be present to imagine the words spoken and the suggestions offered, nor the chaos. The Orders often cannot agree, even among themselves. Anticipating the upcoming arguments, I submitted a petition and volunteered to attach myself to the new commander. in order to assess her leadership and discover the true nature of her powers. But a good strategist looks far into the future. The role I gave myself was just the beginning. I watched and prepared contingency plans for every potential turn of events, such as if you turned out to be a menace that must be destroyed, or if you turned out to be a valuable asset and our best hope of triumphing over the abyssal host. An ally who must be supported, no matter the cost.
And what did you learn?
I have been a Hell Knight for most of my life. I know the orders like the back of my hand. All our might, determination, and glory, as well as our weaknesses. Unfortunately, it was clear that not all of us would appreciate the tremendous potential of such an important piece showing up on the board. I could write dozens of reports, give you the most stellar of testimonies, and that still wouldn't be enough to convince the skeptics.
And what would you put in these reports? What is your honest opinion of me?
I believe you are our best chance of healing the world wound once and for all. But there is more. I see you not as a tool or a game piece, but as an ally. And a commander with great leadership potential. Which is why it is so important to remove the division between you and the orders.
Go on.
Only a military tribunal would be able to resolve the issues between the Crusade commander and the Hell Knights. As formal a hearing as possible, to assure the orders they had considered the case and had the chance to pronounce a verdict. The occasion also called for a sacrifice. A symbolic victim who would reinforce the impression of a successful trial and a unanimous decision. Nothing bolsters the reputation of the accused like the public humiliation of their accuser. I was the obvious choice for the role. So I organized this tribunal and did my best to ensure that the Paralictors arrived at the only correct decision, given the circumstances. Of course, this meant that my reputation would be destroyed, and I would be stripped of my rank. But that's inconsequential. Such losses are acceptable. I make no great fuss about the bleaching, but I do realize the full scope of its effects. The Fifth Crusade is quite possibly my last campaign. The pressures of time push people to extreme measures, and I am no exception. My aim was more than simply to prevent the Hell Knights from rallying against you. I wanted to strengthen your alliance, to give you a powerful army, a strong asset in the confrontation with the abyssal host. My gambit was successful. I am satisfied.
No, that's very, Thank you, Regil. I appreciate your sacrifice.
Your gratitude is unnecessary. I did what had to be done. Now that we are entirely clear, let us return to the main objective. I still hope to see the matter of the world wound resolved once and for all.
All right, that was pretty cool. Whew, a lot of heavy stuff there. All right, I'm going to call it apart for here, because that was pretty awesome.
I refuse to surrender.
Keep it going, Regil. You're awesome. All right, so this is Johnny R. signing off for the night. Have a good night, everyone.